its order of suspension to aid in further investigations. Per the investigation, it means that Yoko should have contracted us to get our version and see that most of those cars that have been claimed to have been stolen are not actually stolen, but Ghanaians are rather victims of this international forces. Kadek also said that Yoko did not consult them when they froze the cars allegedly to have been stolen, and said that they have consulted some stakeholders to enable a thorough investigations. The Center for International Maritime Affairs Ghana, CIMAC, has cited a report by the International Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center, IMB PRC, to be misleading in its classification of piracy incidents in the Gulf of Guinea, with insatiable claim that Ghana has the highest number of attacks in the region. CIMAC notes that the IMB PRC has erroneously grouped together incidents of piracy, theft at anchorage, and robbery at sea, which have clear distinction definition under international law. According to Article 101 of 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, piracy is defined the high seas or international waters against a ship outside of a state jurisdiction. On the other hand, armed robbery at sea refers to act of violence against ships within the state internal and territorial waters. Now, according to CIMAC, the IMBPRC report cited theft at Takoradi Anchorage in Ghana and Luanda Anchorage in Angola as evidence of piracy attacks. However, CIMAC notes that the ships at sea often encounter fishing canoes in coastal waters, which are usually reported as suspicious approaches by suspect pirates. CIMAC assures the shipping community that Ghana has not recorded any piracy incidents within the period of the report or the past years. CIMAC calls on all relevant stakeholders to continue sustained effort to make the sea safe, free of piracy, robbery, and theft at anchorage across the borders. If you just joined us, you're listening to Maritime and Port News. Now, the first quarter preliminary results from U.S. domestic and trans-Pacific carrier Matson saw container volumes on its China service slump 35% on the previous years as American consumers drastically cut back on discretionary spending. Matson chairman and CEO Matt Cox said its retail consumers had continued to conservatively manage inventories, weakening consumer demands, increasing interest rates, and economic uncertainty. Now, the carrier said the steep decline in volumes and freight rate on the route were the primary contributor to the decline in our consolidated operating income, which fell from $433 million in quarter one of 2022 to between $33 million and $39 million this year, 2023. Nevertheless, Mr. Cott said Matson expected improved trade dynamics in the second half of 2023 as the Trans-Pacific trade plays transition to a more normal level of demand. The Shanghai Containerized Freight Index, SCFI, a closely watched measure of container shipping spot rate, has just risen for the third week in a row after 9 months of continuous decline. The SCFI came in at 133.65 points today, up 8% week on week. Freight rates have rebounded strongly on the back of the mid-April general rate increase, due mainly to rate increases on the Trans-Pacific, Middle East and Latin America route. China-US West Coast route, which comprises 20% of the index weighing, jumped 29% week on week to $1,668 per 40-foot equivalent unit. The SCFI, which specifically measures cargo flows from China, is now up 14% from the cycle low of 906.55 points in the week ending March 10th. The index suffered its steepest losses last September. However, a weekly decline this year before the recent turnaround have been muted. On this note, we wrap up this morning's edition. And of course, this week's edition of Maritime and Port News, proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in all your shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. For more maritime news, log on to my YouTube channel at Nanesi Boateng. My name is Nanesi Boateng, my producer, Kwekwa Boateng. Have a great day.
Yensu akwan suju medie hia mo man bia nkanko. Edigana